Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Sky Clock podcast.
Glad to be here.
Today we're taking a deep dive into the astrological energy,
Right?
for today, January 7th, 2025.
Yeah.
So it's like this, you wake up in the morning, you kind of look up at the sky, and you're like, what's the sky clock telling me? It's like, should I stay in bed?
Should I call out sick?
Should I go for it?
Right. Exactly.
So we're going to kind of decode that cosmic clock for you, and today's kind of interesting
Yeah, it is a very unusual day.
because we got a lot going on.
We have a first quarter moon in Aries, and a whole bunch of planets are retrograde.
Oh.
It's going to be a day full of action, but also introspection.
Okay, so like a push and pull kind of day.
Yeah, like a should I stay or should I go kind of energy.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so where do we even begin to unpack all of this?
Well, let's start with the sun, which is in Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yeah, so Capricorn is all about discipline and ambition. It's like that friend who always has a planner and a color-coded to-do list.
Oh gosh, I wish I was that friend.
Well, maybe Capricorn energy can inspire you.
Oh, maybe just a little bit. I do have my coffee at least.
There you go. That's a start.
So Capricorn Sun is saying, get organized, make a plan, tackle those goals.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to make those tough decisions today. Capricorn energy can handle it.
Oh, okay. So we're starting off strong with this like get stuff done energy.
Right. But then we have the moon in Aries.
Okay, hold on. Now, Aries is like the opposite of Capricorn, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think spontaneous, adventurous, but a little bit impulsive.
So the moon is like our emotions and our feelings, right?
Exactly. It's how we're reacting to things.
So we've got this like plan everything sun and this impulsive moon. How does that work?
Well, it creates some inner tension, a push and pull between wanting to charge ahead and needing to think things through.
Okay, so maybe like a carefully calculated risk?
It's a good way to put it, yeah.
To just jump into anything, be smart about it?
Right. Use that Aries fire, but with Capricorn strategy.
Okay, I can dig that. So that's the sun and the moon. What about these retrogrades everyone's talking about?
Ah, yes. The retrogrades, it's like the planets are in rewind.
Okay, rewind. What does that even mean?
Basically, it means the planet's energy is turned inwards. So instead of expressing outwardly, it's more about reflection and review.
So like looking back before we move forward.
Exactly.
Okay, and we've got a bunch of planets doing this retrograde dance, right?
We do Mars, Jupiter, Uranus. They're all in retrograde right now.
Wow, a retrograde party.
You could say that.
Okay, so let's break it down. What does it mean that Mars is retrograde and in Cancer, no less?
Ooh, Mars retrograde in Cancer. That's a potent one. Mars is all about action and assertion, but when it's retrograde, it can make us feel a bit more frustrated or irritable.
Oh, so like road rage, but like emotional road rage.
Kind of, yeah. And because it's in Cancer, which rules the home and family, those emotions might be coming up in our personal lives.
Oh, okay, so maybe watch out for those arguments with your roommate or your partner.
Right. Choose your battles wisely today and try to approach any conflicts with compassion and understanding.
Okay, I'll try to keep my cool even if someone eats my leftovers.
Good plan. It's a good day to practice patience.
Yeah, patience is a virtue, they say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Mars retrograde, we're being extra mindful of our emotions, especially at home.
Exactly.
What about the other retrogrades? What's happening with Jupiter?
Well, Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion, but when it's retrograde, it can feel like those things are on hold.
A bummer.
But it's not all bad. It's a good time to reassess our goals and make sure we're on the right path.
So like a cosmic course correction.
Exactly. And because Jupiter is in Gemini, this retrograde is also about revisiting our ideas and how we communicate them.
So maybe double check those emails before hitting send.
Good advice. And maybe have those important conversations in person where you can really connect and make sure your message is understood.
Okay, so Jupiter retrograde is like a pause and reflect on our goals and our communication style.
Exactly. It's a time for refinement and reevaluation.
Got it. So we've got Mars retrograde making us a little emotionally sensitive. Jupiter retrograde asking us to reassess and refine.
And then there's Uranus retrograde.
Oh, right. Uranus doesn't plan to surprise us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with Uranus retrograde in Taurus, we might be feeling a bit restless or like we need to shake things up in our lives, especially when it comes to our routines and our values.
So like a sudden urge to quit your job and travel the world?
Maybe. But maybe it's more subtle than that, like trying a new hobby or changing up your daily routine.
Okay, so Uranus retrograde is like a cosmic nudge to get out of our comfort zone.
Exactly, to embrace change and try new things.
All right, I'm feeling a little bit adventurous now.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the sun, the moon, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus all doing their thing. What else is going on in the sky today?
Well, there's one more important factor, the nodes.
The nodes, I always get a little confused about those.
The nodes are like the points where the moon's orbit intersects with the sun's path.
Okay, that sounds complicated.
It can be, but think of them as signposts pointing us towards our soul's purpose.
Oh, I like that.
The north node is where we're headed, our soul's evolution, and the south node is what we're leaving behind.
Okay, so it's like a cosmic journey. And where are the nodes right now?
The north node is in Aries and the south node is in Libra.
Okay, so Aries North Node, that's about being independent and courageous, right?
Exactly. It's about stepping into our authentic power and going after what we want.
So no more playing small.
Right? Embrace your inner warrior.
Love it. And what about the South Node in Libra?
Libra is all about relationships and harmony. So the South Node in Libra might be asking us to let go of codependent patterns or people-pleasing tendencies.
So finding that balance between our own needs and the needs of others.
Exactly. Setting healthy boundaries and learning to say no.
This is good stuff. So the nodes are like a cosmic compass pointing us towards our soul's path.
That's a great way to put it.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground already, and it's just part one of our deep dive into the astrological energy of January 7, 2025.
It's a packed day, cosmically speaking.
So before we move on to part two, where we'll explore how to actually work with these energies, take a moment to let all of this sink in.
Yeah, reflect on where you're feeling this push and pull, this tension between action and introspection.
What are you being called to embrace, and what are you ready to release?
We'll be back soon to delve deeper into these cosmic themes and offer some practical guidance on how to navigate this dynamic day.
Stay tuned.
All right, cosmic adventurers, welcome back.
I feel like we've already been on quite a journey.
We have, haven't we? It's amazing how much is happening up there in the sky, even if we can't always see it.
It's true. It's like there's this whole hidden world operating behind the scenes, influencing our lives in ways we don't even realize.
Exactly, and that's why we're here to shed some light on those cosmic forces and how we can work with them.
Okay, so we've talked about the sun, moon, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, all these planets doing their thing. But how do they all fit together? It seems like a lot to juggle.
Well, it is a cosmic dance with all these different energies interacting and sometimes even clashing.
Right, like that push and pull between Capricorn and Aries we talked about earlier.
Exactly. On one hand, we have Capricorn urging us to be disciplined and organized, make those plans, get stuff done.
And then Aries comes in like, let's go, let's be spontaneous, let's just do it.
Right, and it's not about choosing one over the other. It's about finding a balance, a way to integrate those energies.
Okay, so like a cosmic tango.
I like that. Yeah, a cosmic tango where sometimes you're leading and sometimes you're following.
And sometimes you're stepping on each other's toes.
That too, especially with those retrogrades in the mix.
Right, those retrogrades are kind of like throwing a wrench in the works.
They can feel that way, but they're actually opportunities for growth and reflection.
Okay, so how do we make sure we're not just tripping over those cosmic wrenches?
Well, first of all, remember that retrogrades are a time for slowing down, reviewing, reassessing.
So not necessarily a time for big, bold action.
Not unless it's something you've been working on for a while and you're ready to take it to the next level.
Okay, so if you're launching a new business, maybe wait until Mercury retrograde is over.
Probably a good idea. But if you're refining your business plan or doing some market research, that's actually perfect for Mercury retrograde.
Okay, so it's about working with the energy instead of against it.
Exactly. And remember, each retrograde has its own flavor, its own unique energy.
Right, like Mars retrograde in Cancer. That's bringing up all those feelings.
Yes, it's a time to be extra gentle with ourselves and with others. Those emotions are coming up for a reason.
So maybe instead of getting into a heated argument with your partner, take a step back and try to understand where they're coming from.
Exactly. Communication is key, especially during this time.
Okay, so Mars retrograde, we're communicating with compassion. Jupiter retrograde, we're reassessing our goals. What about Uranus retrograde?
Uranus retrograde in Taurus is shaking things up in a different way. It's about our values, our sense of security, our material world.
So like our finances, our possessions, even our bodies.
Yes, and it's not necessarily about losing those things. It's more about looking at them from a new perspective.
So maybe questioning our attachment to material things or exploring alternative ways of living?
Exactly. It's about being open to change and innovation, even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first.
Okay, so Uranus retrograde is like a cosmic wake-up call to reevaluate what truly matters to us.
Exactly. And with Pluto moving into Aquarius this year, we're entering a period of major transformation on a global scale.
Pluto in Aquarius? Now that sounds intense.
It is. Pluto is all about power and transformation, and Aquarius is the sign of revolution, technology, social change.
So we're talking about big shifts in power structures, advancements in technology, new ways of connecting and relating to each other.
Exactly. It's an exciting time to be alive, but it can also be a time of upheaval and uncertainty.
So how do we navigate these big shifts in a way that feels empowering and not overwhelming?
By staying grounded in our values, by connecting with our communities, by being open to new ideas and ways of doing things.
So it's not about resisting change, but about embracing it with awareness and intention.
Exactly. And remember, the nodes are there to guide us. The North Node in Aries is calling us to be bold, to step into our leadership, to take action towards our dreams.
And the South Node in Libra is reminding us to release those people-pleasing tendencies, to find that balance between our own needs and the needs of others.
Exactly. It's about owning our power and creating relationships that are truly reciprocal and supportive.
This is so powerful. I feel like we're being given a cosmic toolkit to navigate these times of change and uncertainty.
That's exactly what it is. And the more we understand these energies, the more we can use them to our advantage.
So it's not just about knowing what's happening in the sky, it's about knowing how to apply that knowledge to our lives.
That's the key. And that's what we'll be exploring in more detail in the next segment.
All right, cosmic explorers, take a moment to digest all of this amazing information, and we'll be back soon to dive even deeper into the practical applications of these cosmic energies. All right, cosmic explorers, welcome back to our final segment of this deep dive.
We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We have. It's been a whirlwind tour of the cosmos.
From the sun and moon to the retrogrades and the nodes, we've explored the major players influencing the energy of January 7th, 2025.
But now let's get down to brass tacks. How can we actually work with these energies? How can we use this cosmic knowledge to navigate our day and make choices that align with our highest good?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to understand the theory, but putting it into practice is where the real magic happens.
So let's talk practical tips.
Yeah.
Actionable advice. What can we do today to make the most of this cosmic cocktail?
Well, first of all, remember that first quarter moon in Aries. It's a call to action, a time to take initiative and move forward with courage and determination.
So if there's something you've been putting off, a project you've been procrastinating on, or a conversation you've been avoiding, now's the time to take that first step.
Exactly. Don't let fear hold you back. Embrace that Aries fire and go for it.
But with Mars retrograde in Cancer, we also need to be mindful of our emotions, right?
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance between action and introspection, assertiveness, and sensitivity.
So maybe instead of charging in at first, take a moment to check in with yourself. Breathe. Feel your feelings. Communicate your needs clearly, and listen with an open heart.
Exactly. It's not about suppressing our emotions, but about channeling them in a constructive way.
Okay, so action with awareness.
Got it. What about the sun in Capricorn? How can we work with that grounded energy?
Capricorn is all about structure and discipline. So it's a great day to create a plan, organize your space, tackle those tasks that require focus and attention to detail.
So even though we have that Aries energy pushing us to be spontaneous, we can still benefit from a little bit of Capricorn grounding.
Absolutely. It's about finding that sweet spot between inspiration and practicality.
I like that. It's like we're building a rocket ship with Aries fuel and Capricorn engineering.
Exactly. We need both to reach our destination.
Okay, what about those retrogrades? Any tips for navigating those cosmic speed bumps?
Well, remember, retrogrades are a time for slowing down, reviewing, reassessing. So with Mercury stationing retrograde in Capricorn, it's especially important to double-check those emails. Read the fine print before signing any contracts, and maybe hold off on making any major purchases until the retrograde is over.
Good advice. It's also a good time to review your long-term goals and make any necessary adjustments.
So Mercury retrograde is like a cosmic reminder to pause, reflect, and refine.
Exactly. And with Mars retrograde in Cancer, it's a time to be extra mindful of our emotions, especially in our personal relationships.
So maybe avoid getting into heated arguments or making any rash decisions based on emotions.
Right. It's a good time to practice patience, understanding, and forgiveness.
Okay, patience, understanding, forgiveness. Got it. What about Jupiter retrograde in Gemini?
Jupiter retrograde in Gemini is asking us to reevaluate our beliefs, our ideas, our communication style.
So it's a good time to do some soul searching to make sure our words and actions are aligned with our core values.
Exactly. It's about speaking our truth with authenticity and integrity.
And Uranus retrograde in Taurus is shaking things up in the realm of our values and our material world.
Right. It's a time to be open to new perspectives, new ways of doing things.
So maybe trying a new approach to finances or exploring alternative ways of living.
Exactly. Uranus retrograde is all about breaking free from limitations and embracing innovation.
Okay, and finally, let's not forget about those cosmic signposts, the nodes.
The North Node in Aries is calling us to step into our authentic power, to embrace our individuality, to pursue our passions with courage and confidence.
And the South Node in Libra is reminding us to release codependent patterns, to set healthy boundaries, and to honor our own needs.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between independence and interdependence, between self-love and love for others.
This has been such an incredible journey exploring the cosmic energies of January 7, 2025.
It's been a pleasure sharing this deep dive with you.
And I hope our listeners feel equipped with the knowledge and tools to navigate this day and every day with intention, purpose, and a little bit of cosmic guidance.
Remember, astrology is a language, a way of understanding ourselves and the world around us. It's a reminder that we're all connected to something much greater than ourselves, and that we each have a unique role to play in this grand cosmic dance.
Beautifully said. So as we wrap up this episode, keep your eyes on the stars, your hearts open, and your spirits high. Embrace the magic of the universe and make every day a masterpiece.
Until next time, keep shining bright, cosmic explorers.